We pick back up with ship's engineer Dewa, their planetside on Konosh, and they've just sailed down the River of Blood. They arrive at the tree loft community that's hidden just past the river bend. They reconnect with their foster community that found them and nurtured them and raised them once they were sent down the River of Blood. Dewa also partakes in a river ceremony in which they ask for spiritual guidance. They receive a clear message. The only way out is through. Back on the IKS Borku, the crew now ships off, having visited who they were going to visit on Konosh. Edaj swims with her battle shrimp and sends some messages to her long-lost love Nivek. Omek partakes in some meditation with some commentary. And Ra'amyan, having been tipped off that there may be secret Durases among the senior staff, does some research. He rules out everyone who has a solid timeline of their background, all but one, Dewa. Ra'amyan and Dewa meet up in the hallway and then decide to take their conversation to the interrogation room, where Ra'amyan lays his cards out on the table. He presents Dewa with the information that Dewa does not appear in Riek's backstory the way that Dewa has presented themselves to be. And Dewa finally confesses about their secret past as a Duras. They are forthcoming with Ra'amyan, saying that they do not pledge allegiance to the Duras. It is only by birth that they were Duras. Ra'amyan counsels them and says that it's best to get ahead of this news before others find out about it. After this very important meeting, the entire crew, minus Edaj, meets up in the dining area. Edaj later joins. She wants to make sure her crew isn't plotting against her. And finally, Ra'amyan receives an encrypted message from Counselor Ra'al, his contact on the High Council, saying that she has a contact on planet Vorseth where they're headed that she'd like him to meet, someone named Tereth. And back in her quarters, Edaj also receives an encrypted message, this one from General Ronar, with specific instructions that they are to arrive at the planet Vorseth, assess the situation, and assist the Klingons who are present. Tune in to the next episode of Blood of the Void, starting now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Blood of the Void, our monthly Klingon adventure in the Modiphius 2D20 systems. I'm Eliza Pearl, your game master for the evening, and we have a very special guest tonight.
Quincy! Yay!
Yes. You know, we never introduce our cast, and I want to start doing that. So we'll start with our special guest tonight. Eric Campbell, please tell us who you're playing. Tell us the name of your playing, and not too much because we're going to find out. And also, what are you doing in the world these days?
I'm at 16-bit Eric across all the interwebs. These days, when I'm not running Clear Skies, I'm doing games over at Sword and Scroll, or of course, you can catch me on Sundays at Luke Gygax's channel on Gary Con Live, playing Gax Pack at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But and today I am playing. I don't know what the name you're seeing on stream on screen is Decop.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is who I am playing today. Indeed.
Yes. Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And let's actually go ahead and introduce our cast. New tradition. I want the people to know who you are. So starting from the top left corner, Aki, please tell us who you're playing and what you're doing in the world.
Yo, I'm Aki. I am playing Lieutenant Dewa. And what am I doing in the world? Well, you should catch me over on Rock Punch ATL tomorrow night at 5 p.m. PT for what is going to be the Kickstarter launch celebration game of Valder Spire Secrets from Maychan Press. It should be a lot of fun. I am playing some stuff that is exclusively from that book, and I'm really excited for everyone to see what that's all about. So yes, Rock Punch ATL Twitch at 5 p.m. PT It's going to be myself and several other amazing people. The D4 DMs Dustin and Devin are going to be running it. CB, Critical Bard, a Style Pixie, Erica Fermina, and a few others are going to be rocking it out at the table. So it should be a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Jade.
Hello, I'm Jade, and I play Commander Adaj. In the real world, I'm very private and don't do very much, but I'm happy to do things should people invite me. In the game world, I have a lot of stuff going on. I can't reveal any secrets, so I'm just gonna say, stay cool, everyone.
Stay cool. Thank you very much. And Philip.
What's up, guys? I'm Phil. I play Omek, son of Bosch. And in the real world, you can find me on Instagram if you want to listen to a dad joke or if you want to make fun of my dad jokes. Like, whatever you want. If you want to be angry or if you want to be happy, come and join me. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Nice. That sounds very inviting. And Quincy.
Hi, I'm Quincy Sursmith. I play Lieutenant Ra'amyan, son of Dash, our ship's helmsperson. And in real life, I'm an actor and a journalist. You can find some of my reporting on my podcast, Asian Americana. And I'm also working on a new show for my job called A Better Life. It's a podcast that talks about how immigrants' lives have been impacted by the pandemic and stuff. Same audience generally as tabletop role-playing games. So, either or. And for my acting stuff, it's new stuff isn't quite out yet, but this fall I'm on guesting on a couple Disney animated shows. So I will talk about those when they're out. Those seasons open in October. So hopefully I'll let you know when those are out.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Quincy. Our cast does so much cool stuff. I'm Eliza Pearl. You can find me at Eliza Pearl on the interwebs. And a couple of announcements before we dive in. I would love for you to follow us at Bloodvoid RPG on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, we're doing some streamlining of our social media. So make sure you're following. Is it at Streampunks RPG?
Yes. So if you were following the Shield of Tomorrow account, you were that became the Clear Skies account. You are now following at Streampunks RPGs because we consolidated everything. Yeah.
Yes, we're consolidating everything. We're going to be doing the same on Instagram soon. So make sure you're following Bloodvoid RPG and you will be in the know about what we're posting and what we're doing. Also, become a Streampunks patron. We have a Patreon. We would love for you to join it. If you're already joining it, you're our hero. Thank you so much. We have some very exciting new updates that we're going to be rolling out in the next couple of months. So make sure you stay on our Patreon because we have really awesome stuff coming. You don't want to miss it. And if you're not on it yet, join it. It's patreon.com/StreampunksRPG. And without further ado, let's dive into our Klingon adventure for tonight. We pick back up with the crew of the IKS Borku headed to planet Vorseth in the Cathar system. Now, last we were on the ship, the crew had some time to spend together, to relax, to hang out, but they're getting back into work mode, so to speak, as they approach the planet Vorseth. They are about 6 hours away, still with some time to finish up any personal tasks that they wanted to do or to prepare for their next mission. Ra'amyan, where do we find you 6 hours before arrival?
I'm trying to look up information about this contact I'm supposed to meet on Vorses. So Tereth, I'm trying to find out who Tereth is, other than just Ra'al's contact that I should be talking to, and also where I'm meeting them. Like, is it a middle of nowhere? Is it some sort of city?
Mm-hmm. Okay. How would you like to search? Are you going to search the Klingon databases for info on Tereth?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Okay. Because, if you're looking for info about the planet itself and where to meet, that would be a different search. But go ahead and... I don't have my sheet up. Okay. Go ahead and roll either Insight Security or Reason Security.
I'll do Insight. I have focuses in Klingon politics. I don't expect this person to be against me, so I don't think threat assessment makes sense, but...
Okay.
Difficulty?
Oh, difficulty will be... Let's make it 0, actually.
All right.
Yeah, we'll make it 0.
Let's get some momentum. I got nothing.
No successes?
I got a 16 and a 19, which is just outside my range.
Okay. The name Tereth does not pop up. Actually...
Wait, if we got 0, doesn't that mean we passed?
0 successes means 0 successes.
So it means I can't really truly fail that, but we didn't get any momentum or anything.
Well, still,
right?
The result is the same. The name Tereth does not show up.
Like, I don't blow up from it.
You see some ancient... you see some ancient houses that were called Tereth and ancient warriors. No living person in the database is listed as Tereth. Okay, and you wanted to look into the planet itself?
Yeah, I'm gonna Ra'amyan to Omek.
Come in.
Omek, I need you to scan a particular portion of the planet for me. I believe I might personally need some information from there.
On it, Ra'amyan.
And I sent him the coordinates. Or was I given coordinates?
You were not given coordinates, just the name.
Oh.
I just got the coordinates.
The coordinates the coordinates of the planet were sent to you all actually before you headed out.
Oh, okay. But I wasn't told where to meet this person.
Right.
Oh, never mind then. I don't know what I would be searching for then.
Do you still want to scan the planet just to see what's there?
Yeah. I suspect I'm supposed to meet someone here to find out something to aid our crew. Can you scan for any anomalous things or unusual activity, Omek? Perhaps Klingons already on the surface.
Of course, because I do have a focus in spatial phenomena. No? That doesn't work? No? Maybe? No.
I mean, it is a planet.
It's a planet, but we could see if there's some stuff on it. Something's living.
Some spatial phenomenon on it.
Yeah.
Or around it. Yeah, go ahead and do reason science. Difficulty also 0.
Success!
Okay, great. And bank however many successes that was. Let your crew know.
2.
Lovely. 2 momentum then. Okay, so you do a long range scan on this planet, and from what you can see, it is, I forgot the class name. It is, I think, let's say L class, and I'll amend that later if I need to. It's an L class planet, marginal life ability naturally, but it has been terraformed in some areas. One area in particular you see has been terraformed There is some minor vegetation there. You see a few buildings, and you see what looks like there has been a lot of digging in one area, some excavation that is kind of like apart from the few buildings that you see.
Come into Ramyan.
Ramyan here.
It seems as though they were trying to maybe possibly find something. Would you like for me to scan that as well?
Who was trying to find what?
That I don't know. I told you, I only have a focus in spatial phenomena.
Spatial phenomena, not planetary phenomena.
That's right. A minor in xenobiology. So, let me see here.
You can also reminded that you can spend one momentum to get more information on any of your science rolls.
Let's do
or
that.
any of your scans. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and use a momentum, guys. Here we go.
Okay. So another thing you notice in your scan is that the things that you saw in that initial scan, there's nothing else really on the planet. The rest of the planet is that L-class kind of like rocky, not terraformed, not much life happening. It's just those areas that seem to have the possibility of life being there.
Should we go ahead and scan the terrain?
How
See
far
if
out are
there's
we still?
Trillion B of some sort.
You're about 6 hours away at this point. So any other scans you would need to probably get closer to scan for life forms to, get a better, deeper scan.
I think we should wait to see when we have a closer look. I'll take whatever data you have. Thank you, Olmec.
You got it.
Okay. Dua, where do we find you 6 hours out from arrival?
Probably in main engineering, making sure that everybody is working on something productive. Most likely trying to just keep this bucket of bolts from falling out of the sky. Pretty much lots of barking of orders, probably for no reason other than to throw their weight around a little bit. Because they've only been in charge of main engineering for a little while, and they maybe feel a little bit of the need to prove something. Make sure they've stamped their mark of authority on this place.
Lokat, your second in engineering, is nearby as you kind of are commanding Bex they're running back and forth following your commands. And Lokat says, things are running very well, Lieutenant.
So they should be. Everyone here has been trained well. And
Yes.
I do not imagine I will be seeing any dereliction of duty anytime soon. Especially
No.
if they know what's good for them.
That is correct. Everyone knows what's good for them because we work under Lieutenant Dua. Isn't that correct? And you hear, aye, aye.
When we get to the planet, I'd like to run a full diagnostic on the ship, just to make sure it's running well after so many weeks at warp.
Yes, sir. Immediately. And Lokat crosses over to some Bex to tell them about the diagnostic.
Once I feel like things have more or less gotten themselves in order, I think that Dua, since we're this close to the ship, is going to go up to the bridge and take their station there to be readily available to their commander.
All right. And speaking of the commander, Idaj, where do we find you 6 hours out?
Yeah, I'm going to be in my quarters. I'm going to be sitting on the ground, stretching with my legs spread open, trying to get comfy and lean. I have all of my blades spread out in front of me, from small to big, and I'm sharpening all of them on a whetstone and polishing them with mineral oil and relaxing a little bit with some blood wine and some Klingon opera, a classic, and just singing along as I'm polishing my blades. And I've been doing this probably for the past 2 hours or so.
Sounds like a kind of self-care ritual for our Klingon commander.
Absolutely. Before you go into battle, you want to make sure you got everything primed, you're loose and ready, and just ready to rip, without ripping any muscles, which is why it's important to stretch beforehand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As you are surveying your blades and stretching, getting loose, you look over to your shrimp tank and you see your battle shrimp. Was it Primpek? Pemirs. Pemirs. In its large shrimp tank that you sometimes swim in with it.
Mm-hmm.
You see it floating, relaxingly, gazing at you, gazing out from behind the glass. And then suddenly it eyes something in the corner and then just like swims away very quickly to the other side of the tank. And you remember the pregnant cat in the corner that you brought on from Konosh.
Oh, Tack. Yeah. Tack and friend. She's very large. I brought Tack with me. Yeah, I brought Tack with me, my cat, onto the planet, and she found a friend in an alleyway. And Tack's friend is a large ginger tabby, and she was like a nice large cat. And then when I started feeling her, I realized that there was some rich life inside of her. So I brought her back onto the ship with me, and
her friend.
And her friend.
Is her friend the father of the babies, or just a friend?
Oh no, Tack is my cat, and I found another cat on.
Okay.
Sorry for the confusion.
Oh no, just wanted to clarify.
Cats. I have two girl cats
it.
now,
Mhm.
and the one that's pregnant, I have named Etik, and she is very large and just lying down and yowling a lot of the time. A lot of yowling, but I'm very, very, very happy. I keep trying to rub her belly, and sometimes I just like wait for something to pop out, so I keep staring at like the bottom end of the cat, but so far nothing has come out. But I keep looking every so often.
I mean, judging from her size and her behavior, she has definitely made a home in this corner of your quarters. And she just has been very fastidious with her cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
You can sense that it's any day now. It's any hour now that she will be giving birth.
I'm very, very excited. I have a lot of animal furs. I currently wear bird feathers, but I also have been known to wear, targ hides and other things. And Etik is just hanging out on top of like a mass of like leathery skins and just like burrowing inside of them. So I keep checking all the folds. Little kitty come out yet? Not weird. Very normal as a doctor. Got to check on your patient.
Absolutely. And if there's anything else that anyone would like to do, no? Then we will cut forward to arrival at Vorseth. You drop out of warp and onto the view screen. Everyone's back on the bridge. Onto the view screen, the beautiful planet Vorseth appears before you. And as the scan suggested, it is mostly a dusty, small planet about the size of Mercury, with just about a fifth of the surface that's been terraformed, enough to bolster the very thin atmosphere for humanoid life to subsist here. Omek, did you want to do another scan now that we're in short range?
I'm a little closer. I think I could do it.
Okay. And by the way, you also, when you do scans, you are assisted by the ship. Forgot to do that last time.
Oh.
So someone can roll for the ship.
Meg, did you see any strange spatial phenomenon surrounding this planet? I know you're the first one to say if there's anything there, but I just wanted to double check with you.
No weird things in space. Okay. But yeah.
Keep me alerted if there's anything strange in space.
Yes, Commander.
Thank you. All right.
I'll roll for the ship.
Okay.
It's sensors, science.
Yes.
Cool.
And I'm going to do reason science, right?
Yes. Yes.
Got it.
And the difficulty, it'll be 0 again. This is just a pretty straightforward sensor scan.
I'm on a roll today. I got two successes.
Bank those momentum.
Thank
No
you.
help from the Borku.
All right. And so now that you're in short range, you can scan for life. So what you see is that there is indeed humanoid life. And actually this is so what is visible in your scan is that there are approximately 500 humanoids on this planet. And you're also seeing in your short scan, you couldn't see this visually on the screen, but on the other side, about to come back around in its orbit, is a Klingon ship.
Commander Adash. Come in, Commander Adash.
Yes, what do you see?
There seems to be a Klingon ship in space.
What
Phenomenal.
madness is this?
Ramyan, was there meant to be a ship around here when we were sent here?
I believe this campaign is for much of the Empire moving its forces here. I cannot say whether other ships were assigned different duties, but it is not out of the question for us to not be alone in this sector.
Have they sensed our presence here?
You haven't gotten any type of ping from them. And they're still on the other side of the planet from you.
Philip, do you have one of those talents that gives us like a free scan or something, like an extra momentum use or something like that? Not a free
Yes,
scan, we did the scan already, but
I only have computer expertise, so maybe we could use that.
Ramyan, I was drinking earlier. Remind me, what are we doing on Borseth?
Okay, so here's the message that it's been a month since we played. This is what happens with a monthly game. So here's a message that you got from General Ronar at Dodge.
Okay, thank you.
IKS Borku, Commander Edaj. Your orders are to proceed to the planet Vorseth. You will observe the situation there and assess and assist the Klingons that are present. Now, filling in some information that isn't in this message, before you left, you had kind of made some connections about Vorseth because you found that Bath market that had the woven marble handle, which is this very unusual, rare looking material. You found out that was from the planet Vorseth. And now you were being sent to the planet Vorseth to help basically colonize it on behalf of the Klingon Empire.
So if we know that there's this Klingon vessel on the other side, and I presume we haven't received any pings back, so they don't know that we're here, I'd like to cloak and observe the situation before they can view us.
Okay. So you go ahead and cloak, and that we haven't done that in a while. Eric, that costs 2 power, right? To cloak the ship.
Cloaking device, I believe, costs 2 power. Yes.
Yes. It's nice having Eric here.
Commander, there's also 500 humanoids on the planet. I don't know
what kind of humanoids?
Yeah, can we use one of the mementa to see how many are Klingons or if there's anything weird about the kind of humanoids?
Yes, and I believe, Philip, do you have Studious on your list of talents? Then
yes, I do.
You get a free question without even spending the momentum. I believe that's what Studious does. So yeah. So without even spending that momentum, and you can spend more if you want to try to get more info, but your first free question can be answered, which is what types of humanoids. You see about 476, not about, exactly 476 previously unidentified, unindexed humanoids, which presumably would be native to the planet. And then you see the remainder are Klingon.
3. Cloaking device costs 3 power.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Unknown peoples on this planet, and we're trying to colonize this planet. So yeah, I'd like to hang back and see what's happening with this Klingon vessel. Let's do a scan on them when they come close. Can we do that without them identifying us or knowing of our presence?
Yes, you can. You'll be able to scan through your cloak.
Okay, great.
Can I spend a momentum to find out if these humanoids that we do know pose a threat, or if they're already like, because we're trying to colonize them, right? Correct? So should we see if they pose a threat, Commander?
Yeah, what exactly would you like to look for? Because what would you like to look for
Can we
that
get a
might be a threat?
physical composition of these humanoids?
I was going to make a suggestion that we can scan for like what is the kind of technology that is already on there. Like, do they have strong weapons and shields? Are they just kind of an indigenous people that don't have technology that levels Klingon people, etc.?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can definitely scan for that type of stuff. Mm-hmm.
What he said. Yes, Ram. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and spend a momentum to see what your scan reports on that. So once again, you see what you saw from those long range scans. You see, once again, there's about 3 major structures. Now you're seeing smaller structures that you're close up. They look like maybe huts. You see a small river that was undoubtedly terraformed because there isn't anything else on the planet except in terms of water bodies. You also see 3 small ships, like shuttle-sized ships, that look pretty basic in terms of their technology. They have impulse power, but not warp. And you see what looks like mining equipment.
Right. Were we able to get any of the physical composition of these humanoids that were these 476 unknowns?
That's not something you can really scan further from the ship. You would have to be up close to them.
Okay.
Commander, I have a feeling that these humanoids are mining the marble that we found on the batlets back on Konosh.
Interesting hypothesis, Omek. I'd like to observe and cloak and observe.
Okay, so the ship is cloaked, and would you like to? I'm guessing you're in orbit at this point.
Yeah.
And if you like, you can maintain an orbit that is geosynchronous, so that you're always going to be on the opposite side of that Klingon ship with the planet between the two of you. You're cloaked, so you don't really need to do that, I guess.
I don't want to do that. I want to get closer to them, however close I can
Okay.
get without them observing me at all. I just want to be able to do closer scans on their ship within range. Yeah.
Okay, great. Actually, go ahead and do another scan on this Klingon ship. Omek. Reason science. And I would say, let's see, the difficulty. This is a Klingon ship. You are cloaked. I'm going to make the difficulty 2.
Ooh. I'm on a roll tonight, bro.
Woo!
2 successes. I got it.
+1 from the Borku.
All right,
That's
great. So
3.
bank that. Yeah, bank that third one. So this ship, you get a registry number when you scan. You scan and you you ping it and you get back its registry name, which is the IKS Raga, Raga. It is a bit of a clunker. It looks like it needs some maintenance. You're getting pretty standard systems on it, standard weaponry, standard engine, warp. It has a ship complement of 50. And you're actually seeing that there's about 24 on the ship right now.
Okay. And is there a way to ping Klingon databases to see who's on board the ship, who's commanding it?
Yep, you can do that. You can use Omek. You can use your free Studious to just kind of do that very quickly. So you get the full list of the crew complement. The two names that are of most interest to you probably are the two highest in command, and those names are Commander Daghor, Daghor. That's a he. So Commander Daghor, and the second in command is Lieutenant Poq, who is a she, Poq.
These don't ring any bells for me, do they?
No.
Okay.
Can I figure out what their like house alignment and stuff is? Because we know a lot of different houses are part of this campaign.
Yeah, go ahead and roll Insight command. Difficulty.
Command.
Yeah, Insight command. Difficulty 1. Are you doing an actual database search or?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I'm searching.
What would the ship
So if
roll
we-
on that one be?
Yeah, so the ship would roll. Sorry, I don't have my ship sheet open. I should. What are the ships?
It's engines, computers, weapons, structure, sensors, and communications for systems.
It would just be a computers and something.
Computers. And what are the
Computers. And then it's command, security, science, con, engineering, and medicine.
security?
Okay, cool.
I have a focus in Klingon politics, and I'd like to spend a momentum, please,
For an extra.
for an extra die.
Okay. And the difficulty is 1 because you're assisted by the computer.
Yes. No. Okay, I have good news and I have bad news.
I only have bad news. The Borku didn't help you.
Okay, I rolled a 2, which is worth 2 successes because I'm using my focus. I also rolled a 20. So let us know what happens there.
Okay.
But otherwise, that means we have 2 successes over a difficulty of 1, so we can bank a momentum.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in terms of house alignments, you don't particularly, they seem to be from very minor houses that you don't recognize. They're not any of the main Klingon houses that are represented by the High Council. They're also not rival houses to you all in your standing. But as you're doing this scan, you get a chirp and an urgent chirp from your computer to Omek, to your station, and it's from this ship.
Commander, I'm getting comms from the IKS Raga.
Okay. What is it? Live or is it a message?
Come in, IKS Raga. Commander Dagon.
Do you put them on screen?
Yes, I do.
Up onto the screen pops a middle-aged Klingon with his crew behind him in the center chair. Who are you who slinks and slides into our slipstream? What dishonorable petocks do not announce themselves upon entering orbit? You think we do not scan for tachyon particles? Do you think we are idiots?
Oh, do you think we are fools to come into a situation we do not know without being plenty aware? Do you think we would walk blindly into a trap of some sort without knowing what's happening? No, no, no. You dare accuse me as soon as I enter? I am offended. Look at you and your measly ship. We outrank you. What are you trying to say coming at me like this? Huh? We were sent to assist you, but that assistance may come or it may go.
Go ahead and roll Presence Command. Difficulty 2.
Okay.
Use a momentum.
Presence Command. Okay. I can take in a momentum. Okay. Okay. So, I got 2 successes and a 20.
Ooh, I'm going to bank that one.
Okay. Cool. Great.
I respect your strategy here. I see that you may not operate the way I choose to in my command, but you are cautious and you are smart. So, welcome to Vorseth.
Thank you, Dagor. I also respect someone who announces their intentions at the top and does not hide. Though we may act very differently, I see where you come from. So, let us meet and discuss and see what we have to share.
I was just headed back down to the planet to meet with some of my crew and officers. If you'd like to join me, we can survey what's there and we can tell you how things are.
Very well. I shall see you planetside.
Dagor out. The screen goes blank.
All right. Oh, Mac, you have to give me some warning before you throw people on a screen.
Sorry, Commander. I apologize. It's just, sorry, I'm not that good at my job.
All right. And I think let's get ready to go planet side.
Okay. So who all is going?
I'll go.
I feel like I'm obligated to go because I just put Commander.
Okay.
Do we need any sort of special environmental equipment for this one, or is it? You said there's an atmosphere, but I don't know how. Is it like super still dusty and stormy? It might still be helpful for us, or is it like chill enough that we can just go without?
Well, from your short range scan, you saw that there is indeed a breathable atmosphere. You saw that there are already Klingons on the ground. If you like, you can bring something just in case it's dusty, or you can do another scan to see if it's needed. You won't suffocate when you materialize on the planet.
I think we should bring our disruptor pistols though, just in case.
I mean, those are standard issue.
Standard, okay, yeah.
Never a bad idea.
That being said, because I feel like I may need to slink away, I do want to bring my mechleth with me.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And as it's a situation where we're preparing to take over anyway, I don't know that seems so suspicious if I have extra weaponry on me.
Yeah. Also, being a Klingon, I feel like any extra weaponry is probably just weaponry. So. Okay.
Also, we already announced that we're super cautious in everything we do. If y'all want to gear up if you want to. It's fine. no other bat laughs coming on. Just kidding.
Before we go, the message I got to meet with this contact with this Tereth, was I given any information about them? Like, do I know what they look like, or do I need to do a follow-up comms for that?
You only got a name and the fact that they would be on the planet Vorseth.
Okay. I better keep it incognito and not call back right now. Who?
Okay. So it sounds like you all. Oh, Dewai, will you also be going planetside?
Sure. I think Dua's curiosity is piqued by the planet in and of itself and how it seems to be kind of laid out. They're going to bring a toolkit along with them, along with their standard array of weapons.
Great.
Yeah.
Should I bring that Batleth that had the marble from Vorseth with me? Or do we not have that? Didn't we get that? Didn't we buy that on Konosh? Someone bought that at the market.
Edaj bought that.
Yeah, I bought one. And I think I have it with me, but if you can you keep it in a case so it's not visible?
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're bringing the Batleth in a case. And okay. And if you're ready to beam down, the science Beck, who steps in for Omek, beams you all down. And you arrive at the planet Vorseth. And now on the ground, you see the landscape, very low, hilly, rocky, bouldery. But you've been transported right into the center of their town, their only town. You see these huts that are made mostly of clay bricks. And you see the river nearby. You see what looks like kind of a town center. So it's basically a bigger hut, same building style, but just like a long, bigger house. And then off to what is your right, if you're facing that long house, is the mines. So they go underground because there's not really mountains or hills here, or large hills, I should say. There are small hills. They go down underneath the hills and into the planet's surface. You see life here. You see people walking around, these humanoids now. You see what they look like. They are tall, slender. They have very long forearms. They wear flowing skirts and fitted tunics on top of different brightly colors. They all have longish hair, and a lot of them are wearing their hair in braids in the front and then loose in the back.
All right, so do we, I guess we'll head towards the biggest hut here, since I assume that's a place where powerful people gather. So without further ado, we'll just go straight there to meet Dagor.
Okay. Okay, when you enter, you see that there are lots of tables all across the room. On the sides of the room, there are some more comfortable seating arrangements. There's a fireplace on either side of the room. You see decor, you see some artwork hanging on the walls, and you notice a common theme now, that all of the artwork has some element of that pink marble that you saw that was woven into a Batleth handle. Except some of them are woven into like a leather type fabric. Some of them are just the pink marble, as if someone had sliced a sheet of the pink marble, and you can see the swirls of white and dusty rose colors in that cross section. You see people off to one side near one of the fireplaces. You see an somewhat elderly Klingon, cozily, comfily speaking to another Klingon. Looks like a lower ranking Beck. And Eric, can you describe this person?
Yes. I should actually probably revise and say that he's actually quite elderly looking.
Quite elderly. Yeah, I couldn't remember
yeah.
how elderly.
Yeah, this is a Klingon that's pushing over 100 years old, so he is an older Klingon. Big, bushy, like mustached beard, the long goatee going down in a thick mane of gray hair that fills up and spills down over his shoulders. He's wearing what looks like sort of patchwork leather armor. This is not Klingon Defense Force armor. It looks like it's just patched together long sleeve tunic that's probably been worn for decades and has just been worn and reattached and resewn and reused. It kind of has that large, thick Klingon leather belt at the midsection. And he also has some, looks like straps on his arm where he keeps what looks like old, outdated equipment. Maybe medical scanners or some such, but like in poor shape and looks quite dated from just eyeballing it. You can tell it's probably early century, like old equipment. Has kind of a full belly, and judging from the look on his sort of coppered colored skin, you can see that he has just carried lines all over his face. He is a Klingon that has been around for a long time. Also has that full set of like sharp teeth at the front of his mouth, and grips a dented mug in one fist and drinks it in front of him, and is nodding to the person he's talking to very slowly.
And did you see that there was an elderly woman and an elderly Eric, or just wanted to clarify?
The elderly Klingon is who Eric just described.
Okay,
and
got it.
He's talking to a younger Beck, a younger female Beck, who looks about, in Klingon years, she would be about 9 years old, but for the human equivalent, it would be about 19 years old. So think of a 19-year-old Klingon warrior.
Okay. And it's just these two that our eyes are drawn towards.
Yes. Everyone else is kind of, there's people scattered maybe in back areas, but these are the two that you noticed off to your left.
And I don't recognize these people, right? Personally.
Right.
Okay. I stride over and I say, "My, you are aged. You are so very old. I am impressed by your longevity. To come to a planet so far away with such glory, to have survived so long with such equipment. I am bewildered and amazed by you, sir. I'm very impressed."
He slowly glances up from his drink and just says, "Nacht Vosh. I don't wish to be disturbed." And takes another long drink of his cup.
Of course, of course. I do not mean to impede upon you. I just wanted to express my admiration for how incredibly old you are. And I bow and I walk away, and I motion the rest of my crew to be like, leave him alone. I know you all want to chat with him, but come back this way. And so we just gather a little bit away, and I talk to my crew. All right, we've made it planet side. Sorry, I was just very, very distracted by that.
It is unfortunate that he has not died in glorious battle yet.
But to be so old, did you see how many lines were on his face? Wow. To still be alive.
His long sigh from across the room as he can hear every word you're shouting. And just, and then he's going to get up and take one last drink and set down the cup and says something to the woman, and he's going to leave. Grumbles as he starts to walk out the front.
The young woman says, "So can we finish our session later?"
Later.
Sir?
Yes, come to the large hut, and I will speak with you there.
Thank you. Thank you. Kapla.
I've heard that. And he goes back to leaves the room.
Seems he is headed in the same direction we are.
The Beck is still there?
The Beck is still there, yes.
Beck, what is your name and rank?
I am just a Beck.
Ah,
Look,
come here, come closer. Come closer.
Yes.
Now.
I'm a Beck on the IKS Raga.
Yes.
We are supposed to meet your commander here. Has he arrived?
I do not know. I was taking a short break, sir.
Who was that man you are speaking to? The honored, long-lived warrior.
That was Dukoth, a counselor who traveled here with us.
Counselor Dukoth. Do I recognize the name?
You wouldn't recognize the name.
He is so old. What special session did you two speak of? What was he teaching you?
Oh, it is personal, but he says that as warriors, we must also battle our spirit as well, and not let it get the best of us.
Oh.
So I am becoming a spiritual warrior, thanks to his counseling.
A spiritual warrior. Oh, this intrigues me mightily. It's been very long since I've heard these words. Do you have anything that you could demonstrate?
We just talk about my feelings, really.
Feelings.
Beck, who is in command on the planet here when your commander is not around?
Oh, that is our Lieutenant Luck. That's not the right name. The Lieutenant.
Puck.
Puck.
And where can I find Lieutenant Puck? Where can we find Lieutenant Puck?
She is more than likely at the mine, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. You may depart.
Thank you, sir. Kapla. And she scurries away out of this hut.
And so, did it take us long to get here, by the way?
Yeah, it took I forget exactly how long we said, but it took, I think, a few months for you to get here.
Just to get from our ship down to the planet. Like, we were here pretty quickly, or did it take us a while?
You just transported down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I tire of waiting. Let us head to the mine. I do not see this Dagor anywhere here, and perhaps Paul can give us some answers, since we have not started off on such a shifty foot. What think you, crew?
We follow your command.
Challenge me if you want to. I welcome a challenge. Who wants to challenge me?
I feel like this is not the time.
No challenges. All right, let us head to the mine then.
Okay.
You invite challenges quite readily, Commander.
We've been on a ship for months. I want to fight someone. Let us to the mine.
You may fight Lieutenant Puck, depending on how things go.
Commander, I do have your batleth encased in this case.
Stop waving it around. Just leave it on your back. Thank you, Omak.
It's readily available whenever you need it.
So, you heading out of this hut?
We've been here for what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got bored of waiting. Let's go. Let's go to the mine.
All right.
You would probably spot the Koth outside, about 60 feet away from the hut, where he's pumping water out of a small well, just into a big bucket.
Okay.
I walk up to Koth, and I say, "The Beck has informed me you're a counselor."
Counselor? Yes. Yes. Medical personnel is what KDF like to call me, but counselor is what they call me, yes.
Oh, counselor. I was confused. I was not trying to figure out what high council house you would belong to.
High council.
You are a counselor. Ah, that explains why she explained. I was thinking, Why would she explain her feelings to one who leads one of the great houses or one of the minor houses? Minor houses also have council members. They simply do not participate in those decisions.
Was that a question?
I am curious. Are you a part of the Raga crew?
Scratches at his neck a little bit and says, I think it is time to tell me who you are.
I am Lieutenant Ramyan, son of Dash, of the IKS Borku. A crew,
KDF.
and I gesture over. There's Commander Idaj, a commanding
Hi.
officer.
I'm Commander Adaj.
Narrows his eyes a little bit and says, that is your commander?
You understand how Klingons gain their rank, yes? It is not through necessarily etiquette and protocol.
How old are you?
Myself?
Yes.
Soon I will reach 40.
All of you are roughly that age.
I actually think I'm one of the more aged of our crew, actually. I joined the Klingon Defense Force later in life.
Well. Well.
Can we
What
still
do you
hear this
want
from
of
far
me,
away,
Fra
by the
Amyan?
way?
What's that, Jade?
Can we still hear this from far? Like, are we close or are we like still far away?
Oh yeah, I think if y'all are outside, you would probably be. I'm not keeping my voice down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm 42. And I just, I'm gonna trot closer because I'm just
Okay.
so fascinated by
Okay.
by this guy. I heard you bellowing. You are a medical officer and you heal people with words?
No,
Are you a witch?
I am not a medical officer. I have not been a member of the KDF since I was very young. Younger than you.
Who are you?
My name is Dekoth, and I listen to people who need to be heard.
If you are not part of the KDF and you are not part of the Raga,
I did not say I was not part of the Raga. I merely said I was not KDF.
He's Klingon intelligence.
I am not Klingon intelligence.
He's a
And those who know me
spy.
well might even argue that I am not intelligent.
Oh, if you sit and listen to what people have to say, their feelings and secrets, you must hear so many interesting things.
Many interesting things. Yes.
Is there any sort of pub or bar in this town?
No.
Or a place we could squat and share some drinks?
Well, I suppose you could come back to my place if you would all like. You could be my guests. But I have one condition. You must grow past this fascination with my age, and you must do it now.
Yes.
Good. We are growing together then. Let us return to my place. I have very bad alcohol waiting for us. And
As he starts to walk away, you actually hear a shout from over the direction of the mine, and you see two Klingon warriors walking over towards the group.
and I'll react.
Hey! What are you doing over there? I said to meet at the mine. Did I say? I said to meet at the mines.
Are you speaking to me?
No,
Are you
not
speaking to me?
Why would I be speaking to you, Dakoth? I've done all the speaking I want to do with you. I'm done with you. I told you that already.
I cannot hear. My ears are so old. They do not detect the whimpering Yips of puppy tog.
Oh,
Could you speak louder?
go fall on a batleth. I was speaking to this commander.
Yes, I came to meet you. You were not at the hut. I was coming to the mine. I'm a slow walker.
Well, would you like to see the mines or not?
Yes, I would. And I turned to Cove. Is that a standing invitation?
You're asking Dakoth this?
Mm-hmm.
Dakoth, his demeanor has changed a little bit upon the mention of the mines and you're going. His friendly demeanor, once he hears y'all are going to the mines, shifts a little bit. And he doesn't say a word to you after that. Instead, he just picks up his bucket and starts moving back to his place.
Well, we're here to learn about the mines, so let us go to the mines.
All right. And good riddance to that old coot. Dagor and the warrior that's next to him, they turn and start walking back to the mines. Do you follow?
Yes, but I walk a little bit more slowly.
Okay.
And I say to my crew, what is your take on this? Things seem strange here.
Speaking of feelings, I don't have a good feeling about this, Commander.
It seems odd that there would be so much effort for such a minuscule planet. This is not an honorable conquering or victory. They have but 24 warriors down here for what appears to be a labor race. Why so much effort?
And how long have they been mining here on Borseth? Do we know this? Do we know this, Elisa? How long they've been mining on Borseth?
It's not something you've asked yet or scanned for, so probably not at this point.
All right. I'm just going to keep those thoughts to myself. All right. Let us to the mines.
Okay. So you follow Dahor and his companion over to the mines. And it's, again, this village is pretty small. It's probably a few square miles. And so it's being dropped in the center of this town. You're only about 1.5 miles of a walk from the mines. Dahor shows you, this is where I've taken over this hut, things like that. Just kind of shows you the town as you pass through the edge of town and into the area of the mines. And once you get closer, you start to see that opening, that entrance that goes down into the earth. You see that they've laid some track for some carts. You see big boulders of what looks like just boulders, but is probably ore coming out of the mine and being sent to a station, another building that actually looks a little bit newer and also more haphazard. It's kind of almost like made of tin sheets and metal poles. No walls, just a covering. And you see that they're processing the ore right then and there.
So Dagor, what do you find in these mines down here? A singular ore or an assortment of things?
It's a singular ore. It's called daparine.
Daparine.
Daparine, yes.
Daparine. And it is a marble substance.
Yeah, it's some kind of marble that the people here, they use it for art and religious purposes, spiritual purposes. We let them do their things, and we actually are trying to help them mine it more efficiently. If we're going to take over this whole system, then we want to make sure they are, doing their best for the empire.
And these people are native to this planet?
Yes, they are.
And where do they live?
Well, we just passed the town, so there are all of those huts that I didn't mention, that's where they live.
On this entire planet, there's only 476 humanoids living here, and they've been living here for centuries.
Well, that I'm not sure how long they've been living here, but there are others of their kind throughout the system, scattered throughout the system. There are not many here, but there are others.
Is this a colony?
Yes, this is a mining colony that we came upon.
How long have you been here for?
How long have we been here for?
The mining colony, how long have these people been here for?
I don't know. I never asked.
You never asked. And yet we took over the mining operations for this art material.
Yes. We want to show that even though we are here to conquer them and bring them into the glory of the empire, we also want to help their way of life.
Of what strategic use is this place to the Empire? It is not a forward base for conquering. This material appears to not be to make weapons of war or ships or dilithium. Why spend this effort here?
Like I said, we are trying to be what our High Council members who care what the Federation thinks want us to be. We may be taking over this planet and eventually this system, but why destroy what they've created?
I did not say to destroy these people's ways, but why spend the effort here?
I just follow orders, really.
You only follow orders. You ask no questions.
No, not like you do.
No. Do you mind if we take a few samples and look around the mines? This is what we were sent for, of course. Unless
sure,
you question the commands that I was given.
No, of course not. And he strolls over to one of the mining carts near the entrance of the mine and picks up a smaller of the ore rocks. It's probably about the size of a baseball. And he hands it to you. Is this the type of sample you're wanting?
A bigger one.
And you see his face. For a second, a fleeting second, he kind of grimaces. And then he says, "Of course." And he picks up one that's basketball size. How is this?
How about that piece over there? And I point at a large sheet, a large one, leaning against the wall.
What do you need this sample for? It's just a worthless religious material.
If it's worthless, you should have no problem.
I just don't want you to waste your time. If the High Council sent you here,
Oh,
there's probably better
Dagor,
things for you to do.
do not worry about wasting my time. Omek, why don't you take this piece and do some scans on it?
Yes, I'd like to cross-reference it with the Klingon database, if I may.
I'm
not
sure you have
stopping
no problems.
I'm not stopping you.
Is Lieutenant Pock here also? Pock?
Yes.
I ask her, Lieutenant, how many of your crew has been dispatched down here, and in what capacities?
Oh, well, a couple dozen of us have regularly been here planetside. And we are to, and she looks over at the commander, assist the locals in their mining operations and ensure that their mining operations run smoothly.
Pock, what is your background?
I am KDF.
So a warrior, then.
Yes.
And you too, Dagor? A warrior?
Yes. A warrior.
And are you proudly conquering the victory against Daparine Or?
Our victory is not against the ore. It is of this entire system, and it will be very proud.
Do you mind if I have a crew compliment of who you're working with down here? I want to make sure your warriors are prepared for battle and not merely scratching rocks from caves.
Of course, Lieutenant Puck. Provide him with what he needs. Yes, sir. She pulls out a pad and kind of starts to dabble on it and then says, my pad is not functioning properly, but I will message the ship to have that sent to your ship.
Perhaps I could assist you.
Oh, perhaps you could.
And Dua will take the pad and give it a look over, see if
Okay.
they can figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah, so just from looking at it, it actually looks like there's no power. It's not powering on.
All right, I'm going to pull out my toolkit and see if I have like a spare power cell.
Okay. If you could, if you'd like to spend 2 momentum, you can say that you have a spare power cell. And you already have your toolkit. So.
Yeah. We cool with me doing that? Sweet. I will spend the 2 momentum.
Okay. So you take out some supplies, screwdrivers, your power cell, a connector, and you go ahead and do, it's going to be pretty easy. You're just powering on this pad. Difficulty 1. And we'll say control engineering.
Cool. Here we go. Gotcha. That's. I mean, I got 1 success. So,
Okay.
but that's all I got. Just 1 success.
Okay. All right. So yes, you're able to power this up pretty quickly. No problem.
Huh. Seems like all it needed was some juice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it is up to date. May I then take a look?
Well, I've been having a lot of trouble with this pad.
Our engineer Dewa just fixed it for you, or is there further trouble that we have not been made aware of?
Yes, I think it's not updating with the current logs on the ship. It's been out of sync.
I'm gonna grab that pad if I can and toss it to Ramyan.
I want you to roll to see if you can grab this.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say daring security.
Keep away, keep away.
Oh boy. And how many successes do I need?
This is gonna be, so this is, she's a warrior. She has pretty good reflexes. It's gonna be difficulty 3.
Okay. We have 2 momentum, right?
I'm gonna make it contested too.
I think we have 1 because Dewa used 2 to make the battery happen.
But spend it so you can get a 3rd die. Take it.
Okie dokie.
I'm also spending 2 threats, so I get a 3rd die.
And don't forget, you can always burn a value.
Do I
True. Get your auto success.
Yeah, I have a value. If no good opportunity presents, break the door and take it yourself.
I mean, well, that's a pretty perfect value for this.
And so I get 1 critical success automatically from that, right?
Yes, and that's like on top of the 3 that you will roll.
Okay, great.
Let's get some momentum back after this too, hopefully.
I got 1 success, so I think we're good. Let me.
So we
Oh.
have 3. That's 3.
That's 3. It matches the difficulty, but we don't get momentum back.
Yeah, so I got 2 successes total.
So 2 on the die.
I was still
and then...
rolling. I was still
Oh,
rolling.
Oh, got it. You're still
Before.
rolling? Okay.
Yeah.
So we got 4 successes.
Yes.
Cool. So we do get
Okay.
that momentum back.
1 momentum, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much momentum do we have total now?
1.
1.
Excellent.
The
I'm going
same
to
as amount
eat-
of warp cores we have.
So I'm going to immediately spin that to make some noodles in my house.
No, it's
Uh,
2 momentum to have a
Where
noodle.
did that momentum go? Meanwhile, the old man's house. Ugh, I'm so motivated to make these noodles. I don't know why.
I'm so glad I brought these with me.
This is amazing.
Team per se.
Mhm.
Okay. So what kind of noodles are they? That's the true question
Big,
there.
thick Klingon noodles.
Okay, she got
Spicy. Got
2
me.
successes.
Glued on.
How many successes total did you get, Jade, including your critical?
4.
4. Okay, so she got 2 successes. So you're able to whip this thing out of her hand before she sees you coming, and has a sense of it, and she tries to pull it away, but you are able to grab it from her before she can.
Okay, great.
Excuse you.
Mhm.
What do you think you're doing?
I am taking control of the situation. You are withholding information from a direct order from the KDF. And I toss the pad over to Ramyan to look at the information that he was looking for.
Puck starts to kind of like go at you, but she's held back by an arm from Dahor and says, "It's all right, Lieutenant Puck. We are not hiding anything. Take a look at the pad."
What's on the pad?
Okay, so you take a look at it and it looks like it's fried. It's jumbled. The words on it aren't making sense. And if you try to press a few buttons, it moves things around like like the screen once worked, but
Is this an ongoing issue with all of your electronics or just this pad?
Dahor says, we have been under attended on our ship. We don't have good engineering crew right now. And this is one of many issues.
If this is an engineering problem, Dewa, could you assist?
Our ship operates just fine. I'm not asking for assistance.
But it seems to me that you might need it. If your systems are not properly functioning, then I don't know how it is that you can properly serve the Klingon Empire.
It's just the database and pads and things like that. And our weapons are all fine.
And what are you going to say to the council when important information goes missing because you have not been properly upkept?
Go ahead. I want to see if you can convince him to let you do this.
Okay.
It can be an assisted role from your commander.
Oh, yeah.
But Dewa, you take the lead on this. And this will be a different role for you because it's presence.
Command.
Yeah, presence command. Difficulty. It's gonna be pretty hard to let him agree, to get him to agree to do this. So difficulty 4.
All right. Well, I have a value that I'm going to burn. And my value is the value is starships were meant to fly.
Yeah.
Hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
So
okay, so you get
and
your
apparently
auto
theirs is not. So I'm here to help them out. All right. And then I guess I don't think I have any focuses that will help me on this, but that's okay.
Okay. And
Is someone assisting?
I'm helping.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know you have some talents that where you can like give directives.
Yeah,
or...
I have advisor. Whenever you assist another character using your command discipline, the character being assisted may reroll 1d20.
Oh, awesome.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So you get a reroll.
And this is what presence command?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yep.
I got 2 successes.
Yes.
So I got 4.
Woohoo!
You get 1 from me too.
5.
What was
Thanks.
So we get a momentum.
What was the total difficulty?
There's 4
total
difficulty
4.
4. So we got 1 momentum. I did it! Yay! I succeeded on a presence command check.
Amazing. Dahor kind of stares at you, Dewa, stares up at you because you're taller than him. And you see him relent and say, fine. Take a look at our ship. do repairs for the glory of the Empire.
Commander, with your permission.
Absolutely. I'm also gonna take that data pad and give it over to Omek and say, and you work here on this and see what you can make heads or tails of this fried up pad.
I'm gonna go ahead and comms up to the ship for a beam out to theirs.
Okay. And with that, we will actually take our break here. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Come back for the second half of this game. Hello and welcome back to Blood of the Void. We're here for the second half of our episode 12, episode 12. And so we've been doing this for a year, by the way. We almost missed our anniversary. What?
Y'all, and I didn't even get a chance to bring up the fact that Clear Skies is coming to an end at the end of September.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping our show. Like we've been doing it for it's been about a year and 8 months, 9 months, something like that.
Wow.
So it's pretty wild.
We're almost as old as Dakov.
Almost.
Oh.
Almost.
Well, I mean, yay! Congratulations to us for our 1 year, 12-month anniversary, and we're bringing. I love how it just circled back around with bringing our forever GM back as a guest, and then congratulations to Clear Skies on an amazing run.
Thank you. Yes, this is our longest game.
Yes, amazing. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, now that we've figured out that we're celebrating, let's dive back into our narrative. So, let's say that some time has passed. Dua, we'll catch up with you on the ship in just a few. But first, after Dua leaves the group to go check out this ship. By the way, Dua, Kotar has been on this ship taking care of some security things. And so Kotar rejoins you back planet side. And once he hears the end of this conversation right after he transports in, and he says, Commander Adaj, I'd like to accompany our engineer on this ship, if that's all right with you.
I think it is essential that you go, as a very secure engineering partner, but help secure the engineering. You understand what I'm saying?
I think I do.
Okay, you secure Dawa's engineering prowess.
Yes, I will.
Okay,
To the ship.
all right.
My Chris impression is not as good as Quincy's.
That was really good, I have to say.
Let's go to the ship. I don't know. Okay, so we'll
Of course, Lieutenant.
we'll follow that in just a moment. But first, Omek, I believe you had some thoughts and questions.
Yes, I'd like to make a roll and see whether or not this dapperine is interfering with our pads and Klingon technology.
Okay. So, yeah. So, you can do this as you taking your tricorder and scanning the pad and seeing maybe what, just assessing the damage and seeing what caused it. Does that sound good?
Oh, sure. I don't have to roll? That's even better.
Yeah, it would be a roll. I'm just kind of narratively describing how you're doing this research.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. I'm gonna take the tricorder and see what's going on.
Yeah, what's messing with this pad? Okay, so go ahead and roll your reason science.
Got it.
Go ahead. What was the question?
You were gonna say it. The difficulty.
Yeah, the difficulty. Yeah.
Yes.
Do I get assist in any way since I threw
absolutely.
the iPad at him or the pad at him?
And also, yeah, how would you like to assist?
Scan this thing, Omek.
All right, so you're giving a directive.
Yeah.
Yes, Commander.
All right. And what does the directive do?
I am not a science person, so I just threw the pad at his head and said, try and figure out why it's broken.
Yeah.
I think that the directive could basically be cached as a value.
Determination.
Yeah.
I think you can use it as a point of determination to give him an auto crit, or you would have to cash it in, Phil, as that if you'd like to get an auto crit. Let me tell you the difficulty, and then you can decide on that.
Okay.
So you're using your tricorder. This was already looked at by your engineer, so whatever is wrong with it, they did not assess just on looking at it. So this is going to be a bit difficult. I would say this is difficulty. Well, I would say this is difficulty 2.
Okay.
Gets knocked down by 1 because he's using a tricorder, right?
Yeah, it would have been difficulty 3.
And I mean, I feel pretty. I've been rolling pretty good, guys. I don't think I have to burn a value. So
Okay. But do you want to take an extra momentum for another die?
Yes, actually, I have cautious science. When using science skills, whenever you buy, you can basically buy a D20 with the momentum, of course.
Okay, great. Do that.
And you get something else with that cautious, right? You buy it because you buy the D20. Do you just get the D20 for free?
It says when you use the momentum, and then you can re-roll 1 die.
It's the reroll. Okay, great.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn 1, guys, and then I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
Let's
Great.
do this. Okay.
Yep. So difficulty 2, reason science.
Reason science. So, okay. 2 successes, and I got 1 more. Right.
You are rolling well tonight,
I'm
Phil.
rolling today, guys.
This is very not
Hey, I got another one.
wow.
3 successes.
I didn't help at all. I just watched and said, "Good job, good job."
Moral support. Appreciate it.
So bank that extra momentum.
Cool.
And so yeah, you take out your tricorder, you scan this pad, and similar to when you scan the ship, you do notice that this it does seem a bit run down. It's a couple of versions older than what you have on your ship. And you assess from your roll that this pad just kind of like was fritz. Someone probably tried to delete things or tried to like mess with the inner programming and kind of fritzed it.
But it didn't have anything to do with the marble.
So you get your free momentum spend for that extra studious question. And no, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with the mineral, the material.
Do I know what caused it to fritz out? Or am I just not that good? Like, is this a question that I would have to ask of Dewa to help me? Because
no, yeah, I would say even just from that first roll, yeah, it seems like someone tried to either delete things from the program or from its memory, and they just messed it up beyond it actually being able to work properly. So it's kind of a coding problem.
Okay, so I was under the impression that I was trying to figure out if the marble was interfering with all of our pads, but it's just this specific one that's been passed around to
and
each other.
if you look at your own pad, you see that it's functioning fine.
Okay.
Same with your tricorder, your comms all seem to be working as well.
So it was hacked.
Essentially.
Okay.
Are Pock and Dagor still here?
Pock has left, but Dagor is still here.
Dagor, tell me, how are you running things here with equipment that is this faulty and this outdated?
Mining operations don't really need that much in terms of new technology. You take the ore out, you put it on little carts, you process it, and then you send it away.
And how long have you been here, Dagor?
I've been here for 2 months now.
2 months. And they sent you here with this sort of technology? You have nothing newer on your ship with which to run everything for your second in command?
You know, I'm starting to not really appreciate this line of questioning, Commander.
And I don't appreciate the incompetency of this mission that I'm seeing here. I was sent here to Vorsev to see how the mining operations were so I could report back to KDF, and I'm not finding anything.
Well,
with
maybe
report.
you should report back that you don't like what you see.
Perhaps. I'd still like to poke around a little bit. You don't mind, Agor? A little
Do what
poking.
you will. I don't think you need me here to let you poke around. You're going to do what you want anyway.
Commander Igor. Oh,
Oh, you're gonna say
He
something?
starts to turn away.
Oh, Mac, you wanna say something?
yes. How deep does this mine go?
He turns back and he says, "You're a science officer. Why don't you do a scan and find out?" And he turns and walks back towards the village.
I continue walking with him. I go, Commander.
What is it? I'm
You
already
seem
tired of your crew. Don't make me even more tired of you.
You seem quite displeased to be dealing with fellow warriors of the Klingon Empire. Tell me this. Is it because you are bitter that they have treated you with such dishonor that you pass it on to us? Or are you actively hiding something from the Borku and its crew? Because if it is the former, we will stand and help you become the warriors that you are. But if it's the latter, perhaps we should take charge of the situation and deal with your dishonor. So tell me, which is it?
Are you accusing me of being dishonorable?
I ask if you pass merely the dishonor played upon you, or are you initiating new dishonor to us? Because either way, we can deal with that situation. And I take my mek'leth out. I'm hoping to now intimidate him with, and if I need to use my value, I will. But I'll wait to see if anything. So basically, I'm trying to get him to either tell us, is he fucking with us, or does he actually need our help? Because if he needs our help, I want to be able. I'm in Klingon way. I'm offering it, not by being like, "You seem sad. We should help you." It's like, look, are you fucking with us? Is this your dishonor to us, or is this their dishonor to you?
If he sees you going for your mek'leth, then you're gonna fight. He's gonna just fight. I will tell you that.
If that's what it takes to do this, I'm gonna do this first mek'leth stuff as a. I want to do it as a presence thing.
Okay. All right. So okay.
But if he fights, we fight.
Okay. So all right. So go ahead and you're trying to get some truth out of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely presence command.
And I don't want to pile on. I don't know if this will help or hinder or be nothing, but I want to be in the background next to Omek, just taking a knife and tossing it really high up in the sky and just catching it. And I'm just kind of hanging out in the background doing that while I wait for Omek to do scans. If that helps the intimidation at all.
I'm not sure. Can you tell me how it would help the intimidation?
Yeah, just real casual with throwing knives around and with good aim. That's all.
Oh, so you're trying to just show off your knife skills?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that as an assist.
Okay, great. That's what I'm doing. I'll assist you in intimidation.
Great.
Okay.
What's the difficulty here?
Okay. So to try to get truths out of this person, it's going to be pretty difficult. I'm going to say difficulty 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it's actually going to be even harder than that. I think it's difficulty 5.
Okay.
You have an assist from your commander.
I have an assist. If it's difficulty 5, I will use my value. Words and weapons are best used in concert to get your way.
Mm-hmm.
My focuses include both persuasion and composure. I don't know if you want to use either of those to take either of those as a focus.
I think persuasion.
It's Klingon style persuasion. because I basically gave him an out in there. I wasn't like die where you stand. I was like, whose dishonor is this? And then I'll use a momentum for an extra die.
Okay. All right.
Come on, give me a Philip roll.
What thing are we rolling? What things are we
Oh,
rolling?
so you're Quincy, you're rolling presence command, and
Am I rolling the same?
yeah, let's keep it simple. You'll roll the same. Although you could, I would say actually roll daring medicine because you're using your knife skills, and you use medicine for your knife skills, right?
Yeah, either way, I got one success.
Okay, all right. Quincy,
I got 3 successes. They're all in the line because I got 2 15s and a 16, but those are just inside my my presence command.
okay, so that's
Plus
3 that you
plus
rolled.
the 2 that come with value burn. So that's 6 total. If Jay gave me one, right?
Yep.
So bank of momentum, I hope.
Think that extra momentum. So you say this to him, giving him this kind of either or, what is going on with you? And his hand goes to his mek'leth as well. And he says, I respect you being direct with me. I don't need your help. And he turns and keeps walking back towards the village.
He almost walks right into me.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Ugh. He just kind of like flips his hand at you and keeps walking past you.
Hey! What are you doing?
Rubs his face and looks at you, Ramyan. You are about to kill someone.
If it came down to it, I had to. It's a lesson I've learned.
Why? What is your purpose here if not to help these people with the mine?
We wanted to help, and yet the whole time this commander sneered and made faces as if ungrateful that a fellow warriors were here to help him.
What do you know of this mine?
What do we know of this mine, Omek? Because so far we've come to find very little and no assistance from their crew. From your crew, it seems.
He raises his hand and says, perhaps you should come back to my place before you answer this. Let us talk.
It seems you're the most reasonable one on from that ship.
Come.
Okay.
All of you, come.
Wait, Elise, I have a quick question. Are there any little animals on this planet?
If you were to take a look, you would probably see some. They have some types of rodents that would be more immediately seen than other types of animals.
Okay, cool. Just curious. Thank you.
We
Gotta
are
know
the
the animal
menagerie,
situation.
Adaj
what?
is a Pokemon master.
Because I gotta catch them all.
Or worse yet, in TOS, there is a whole superpowered being that collected everything, sort of a meta Pokemon master.
Okay. So we're actually gonna cut back over to Dua and Kotar and Lieutenant Pook on the ship. You get beamed up to the ship, straight to engineering. And looking around, this is a bird of prey. It is about the same size as your ship. Again, it's a couple of versions older, the tech in there. And you start to take a look around.
What a hunk of junk. Surprised this thing is still in the sky.
Lieutenant Polk says, perhaps you are more oriented towards newer technology, but we get by with what we need.
You can do better than get by. I will help you.
All right. Well, what do you think? What needs helping with?
Yeah, can I like start running some scans and diagnostics and stuff to see
Yep.
to assess the health of the ship?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a doctor, but for ships.
Okay, so
I
we're
have
gonna
plenty of focuses for this.
great. Well, so for diagnostic, let's do insight engineering,
Okay.
and I'll have you do a roll for each system that you'd like to check. So
Okay.
yeah, engines,
Yeah.
energy, communication. Yeah.
It could be systems maintenance or troubleshooting or investigation. Power systems,
Yeah,
lots of focuses.
if you
So
want to do systems maintenance, then it could definitely be like just a general assessment on all of the systems of the ship.
okay.
All
What was
right.
the difficulty again?
Difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay. May I buy a die? Cool. Thank you. Here we go. Hacha.
Hacha.
Okay. That's gonna be 2 successes.
Okay. So you step over to a control panel in the engineering room, and from your work on other ships before the Borku, you actually are familiar with this particular version of the ship tech. And you're able to pull up a diagnostic report on all of the systems. You see that they're all running not at optimal levels. You see that there are certain systems that they haven't run diagnostics on in a long time, years really. You see that the warp core is functioning probably at about, that's the only thing that seems to have been maintained more regularly, because the warp and also the impulse have been functioning at around 80 to 85%. Still not optimal, but still functioning. The weapons are all maintained great. Everything else is kind of just every once in a while they do a tune up on it.
Has nobody taught you that you must love every part of your ship? Not just the stuff that destroys things and gets you places.
Poke says, I guess not. No one has taught us that.
Well, it is time that you learned. And they're gonna start barking orders to like Bex to start like pulling relays to like start rerouting stuff and like basically performing some surgery on this here ship here. And if
Yeah,
that turns into an extended task, I'm cool with it.
yeah, that sounds good. We will make that an extended task. Now let's so narratively we'll just say we'll come back to this, but we kind of have a harkening back to earlier in this episode with you in your own engineering room barking out orders with your second in command at your side. So on that image, we cut back over to planet side, Dukoth, standing inside your hut with your visitors.
Mm-hmm. He's pouring a tall glass of some kind of concoction that smells like it has some. It smells like an alcohol drink. Has that sort of like burny smell to it. And as he fills up all the mugs and passes them out and says, sits down. This place is like very Spartan, even for a Klingon. There's a bed. There's a couple of changes of clothes. There is a mek'leth on the wall, and that's it. A couple of low-grade medical equipment, but aside from that, like that's it. And the bed is basically a shelf built out of the wall. No pillow or anything, just like a Klingon's bed. And he sits down at this table, which is the only piece of furniture in the entire place, and says, so, you have no idea what this mine is, or why you have been sent here to help? Is that correct?
Yes. No idea what's happening whatsoever. Do you know what's happening here?
Yes, I know what's happening here. I did
Then
not
please-
know if I could trust you until I heard you getting ready to kill one another outside.
It is as Klingons do, apparently.
You
Death
sound like
reveals
you
all
just
truth.
discovered what it is to be Klingon.
Indeed. Death reveals all truths, does it not? Dekov.
I would not know. I have yet to die. But it is something to be said for the Klingon who wastes their life. It is possible to die long before your body sleeps. I would know. And he passes you a mug and says, so, who sent you here then?
Commander, perhaps that is your question to answer first.
I was given a command to come here to investigate from KDF itself. Why we were sent here, I do not know. But things are not as they appear on the surface. I find it hard to trust. Young men are often full of hot air and long words. And I do not trust easily.
It
But
sounds
you-
to me like you know exactly what is happening here. You just haven't been able to get the details yet. But your instinct is correct.
Dakoth, something I've been trying to figure out in my time here is who is actually on this planet. Perhaps you can help me answer a question of mine.
Very well. Ask your question.
I am looking for someone named Tereth. I thought that if I could figure out the crew complement on this planet, I would be able to figure out which Klingon this is, but their commander has not been the most cooperative in this endeavor, and I did not want to play my hand.
Who told you to look for Tereth?
A friend. A friend in the
friend.
High Council.
In the High Council? He leans back now, like interest on his face, and says, would this be Ra'al?
Ramyan leaks out a smirk. So you know Ra'al.
I delivered Ra'al into this world. Yes, I know Tereth of the House of Sempish. He died when he was in his 20s. He was a KDF officer, a proud one with a promising career. 28 years old, his 5th year in the KDF. He experienced a transporter malfunction. They were not quite as rare back then as they are now. He developed what was known as transporter psychosis. Something that does not happen today. But the multiplex pattern buffers that they use on transporter systems now did not exist yet.
Not a
And
warrior's end.
he did not die. Not of that. He died when the KDF refused him treatment for the mental illness that he began to acquire from the transporter psychosis. He was thrown out of the KDF after he began to develop symptoms. And upon this disgrace, his house threw him out. And he was left to die. He had to find a new way to live. Such is the stigma against warriors of the KDF. They do not see the wounds we carry inside.
and they see it as weakness. But Kalis himself reminds us that the greatest battles we ever face are the ones with ourselves on the inside. And so, upon the realization of these things, Tereth found a new purpose in life. The young Klingon died, and Dakoth was born.
I raised the whatever cup we have, and I say, "To the death of an honored warrior, and to the rebirth of another."
He raises his mug and nods, and takes this long sip. And
So, mutual friend of the Klingon High Council has sent you here. The IKS Raga is filled with pitach in filth. They sully the name of the Klingon Empire. They do not represent the KTF or its values. Everything your instincts have told you is correct about these fools. And the topa of a commander will treat you like a fool until you finally leave. There is no conquest or glory here. 'Tis why I have forsaken the IKS Raga. No longer do I count myself among them, though very little use did I have with them. So, what will you do if I were to tell you that these pathetic excuses for Klingons were simply using the materials in this mine for personal gain and not for the glory of the Empire?
That would be a great dishonor of their duties indeed.
At hearing this, I will spit on the ground and just say, those who would dishonor the names of Klingon for self-gain. If he treats me as a fool, I will play the fool to discern what I can and play this game. But this is nothing that I take pleasure in.
We have nothing to fear, Commander. What Dakoth has told us has enlightened us. We are not dealing with a Klingon commander, a warrior of the KDF of the Empire. We are dealing with a Ferengi trader running his mining operation so that he may profit in war. I believe that is one of their rules of acquisition, not the honor of a Klingon warrior.
I am reminded how young you all are each time you speak. You will find that this is not unusual. There are many Klingon houses who would throw the word honor around with ease. They will use the word glory to hide their ambitions. That will use cunning and ambition to replace any idealism, to follow the good of the glory of the Empire, has been the excuse for many dishonorable deeds. This is just another.
How many times have you heard a warrior say they were merely following orders?
I have spoken to many a Beck over my years, especially when I started listening. After my experiences, I began to realize how vulnerable Klingons truly are, and how Klingons mistake vulnerability for weakness. Many Beck, more than would admit, have told me of the terrible weight they bear for the very reasons you have described, following orders. They attach themselves to commanders who speak loudly of glory, thinking that they will be led to that path, that Stovall Core will await them on the other side of this tour of duty underneath this ambitious commander. And each time that Beck looks over their shoulders and asks themselves, how much of my honor has been stained for the ambitions of this one commander? Too many times has it happened. Very few who sit in the center chair are worthy of it, and these Klingons do not belong here. They are wasting the resources of the Klingon Empire and doing it for the gain of their own house. And what's worse, they are causing unnecessary pain to these people to get what they want.
Pain.
It's shameful.
What mean you by pain?
This is not a planet of conquest. This is a strip mine. They wish to take the resources and move on, but they would use the glory of conquest as an excuse to take what they want. But no, I promise you, the materials coming from that mine are going straight to the black market. I cannot prove it, but I know this to be true.
Is there someone to whom Dagor answers to?
When it comes to politics, I cannot help you. And I have no love for the KDF. But if you wanted my suggestion, Commander, I would say settle this the Klingon way. Remember, you do not need proof. All you need to do is believe in your heart. Then tell this commander who they are. Explain it to Dagor. And if Dagor is truly a Klingon, then he will kill you. Or he will die trying. And that is how you will prove yourself.
How many under his command have come to you with these troubles, Dakoth?
I will not say. But enough.
For once we defeat their commander, and that is my suggested route of action as well, any honorable warrior still on that ship, still in this mining operation, deserves honor and respect of being with a ship that will take them to glory and battle, and honor the principles on which we fight. I cannot promise that they will get what they want, but at least it is a campaign worth fighting for, instead of being stuck on this backwater planet mining mineral for profit.
What is honor?
A question not enough Klingons actually take the time to ask themselves. I tell you this, when you are judged after your death, you will learn that the only one who can truly bring you honor is yourself.
Thank you for your words, Dakoth.
And what of you, Dakoth? Do you wish to stay here? Or do you wish to come back with us once we settle this deed with Dagor?
I will go where destiny or fate will take me. But I will no longer stand by why they sully the name of the Klingon Empire. I have my wounds, and I have no love for the KDF and for what it is to me and warriors like me. Warriors that could very well be you one day. But perhaps that is how we make change. So, if you would have me, perhaps I would consider. I want no rank. I am not a soldier. I never will be again. I am a spiritual warrior and a follower of the teachings of Kalis. And a decent doctor. And I know how to make good drink. Drink.
And takes another long pull.
Mm.
And it's awful.
Mm.
It is awful.
I believe our engineer, Dawa, will appreciate this, for they will find much use in eliminating corrosion on our power cells. This is a powerful drink indeed.
I respect you, Dikoff. And so, we shall return. But
Good.
please, I hope you have a glass of this waiting for me when I come back.
And if not, then I will see you in Stovall Core. I am old enough. I will be there soon enough.
Kapla to us both.
Kapla,
Kapla.
Commander.
And with that kapla, we cut back over to the IKS Raga. Dua, you have been commanding and sending Becks left and right to do your bidding. We are going to do this as an extended task. So,
I
here's
don't know how much momentum we have,
okay.
but that is okay. I have a
looks
talent
like-
that will help me.
Okay, yeah, it looks like there's just one in your pool of momentum.
Do we have to lose that between scenes, though?
And well, we've been flipping back and forth.
Okay.
So I'll say, well, we did transition to the hut.
It's okay
yeah.
if we don't have any momentum. I will do my best to generate some.
And this is and you're trying to fix the ship? Is that what's happening right now?
Trying to just make it a bit more optimal. It is running at suboptimal levels. Trying to get it back up to scratch.
Yeah.
Are we out of communication at this point?
No, you can try to communicate with them.
So is this happening while we were still talking with Dakoff? Like, do we rewind a bit?
Well, Dawa has started the work. We're going to do the mechanics of it now, but they will have started the work on it. So if you'd like to communicate with them, you absolutely can.
This is a private message, right? This
Whatever you need it to be. However you need it to be.
I'd like to send a private message to Dewa saying, disable the ship.
Understood.
Thank you. Feel free to have Kotar take the lead on engineering.
We are fixing things, nothing to look at here.
Nothing to worry about.
As he just starts pulling the entire warp core out of the.
It needs replacement. It is the logical thing to do.
Very logical over here.
This warp core insulted my honor.
Then yeah, I think that I think that what they're going to have to do is basically give the Becks on the engineering crew like legitimate orders,
Mm-hmm.
but basically sabotage them every step of the way. And then maybe they like hint to Kotar that like he should be helpful and assist the Becks with their tasks. If
You
he
want
happens
me
to
to assist in engineering?
Mm.
Yes, I would like for you to be very hands-on and handle things with the utmost care.
Lieutenant, I'm a security officer.
With the utmost care.
Okay? Yes, with the utmost care.
You with all the strength that you can muster.
Oh, yes. And he's going to walk over to a panel and just rip it off.
Perfect.
This is necessary because some Becks now have turned and looked at him. This is a necessary repair. Okay. So, all right. So here's the extended task. The difficulty is going to be 4, which you can then reduce as you have successes. The magnitude, the number of breakthroughs you have will also be 4, or you will need. Resistance is 1, so that means after you have successes and you roll your challenge dice to see how much you take off the work track, you're going to subtract 1.
Yeah, but I can spend a momentum to pierce and get rid of the resistance.
There you go. And you have a way of generating momentum, you said.
I have a talent untapped potential.
Aha, look at that.
So whenever I succeed in a task for which I've bought momentum, I can gain bonus momentum equal to whatever I roll on my die, maybe
Right.
6. So first I have to get momentum so that I can spend momentum.
Okay, great.
And to clarify, this is an extended task to disable the ship, right?
Well, now, yeah, we're changing it.
Okay, let's clarify what we're doing.
That is. I'm glad you made that communication before we started this because yes, now this extended task is fix the ship a little bit so they think you're still helping, but also disable the ship.
Yeah. All right, this should be interesting because
Okay.
I've already burned my determination. So getting 4 successes is going to be next to impossible unless I crit.
Okay, and so you're going to be rolling for all of this control and engineering. Control and engineering. Yeah, control and engineering.
Which is an interesting thought of what do we want Dewat to fail at here? If it's repairing the ship.
Basically sabotage just enough systems so that even the warp core goes offline, probably. I have warp field dynamics as one of my focuses.
I leave this to you all.
right.
I'm just gonna sit on the side and just cheer you on planet side.
I'm also
a solid directive here.
I'm also a maintenance specialist. Let me see what that skill does, because that might give me an extra die. Is it maintenance specialist? Whenever they're required to perform a maintenance, I can reduce the difficulty by 1.
Okay.
And have the time required to complete the task. Cool.
Okay.
So now it's a difficulty 3 check instead of a difficulty 4 because I am a maintenance special. I also have another talent here. Hold on. Sorry. All these talents. Just trying to figure out.
I don't know if
skills.
This helps.
I think I can.
But I feel like wrecking a ship is way easier than fixing a ship.
I'm just picturing Chris's character like Casey Jones in the Ninja Turtle movie, just going whoops and just like pulling a lever and just destroying everything in the engine room.
Okay. So I also have technical expertise, which means whenever I attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, I can re-roll a d20. Am I technically being assisted by this ship's computers?
Yeah, Mm-hmm. I would say so.
Cool.
And Kotar's assisting too, right?
Not with these extended tasks.
Assisting.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
I think in story he's just running interference. So when
Yes.
people are like, "Are you actually helping?" Like, we are very much helping.
All right, here I go. Here I go. Oh man, this is a rough first roll here. I'm so glad I can re-roll. That would have been really bad, y'all. Okay, I got 3 successes.
All right. Okay, so now you're gonna roll. You have 2 more rolls within this breakthrough. Your untapped potential roll, and then your challenge dice to see how many you knock off the work track.
Okay.
Right.
I don't think I get to do the untapped potential because I have to buy momentum in order to be able to do that.
You sorry, can you say that again?
I don't think I get to use untapped potential this time because I didn't spend a momentum to buy a die.
Gotcha. Okay, got it.
So I don't have anything to do piercing either. So I now am rolling my challenge die in order to determine how much work I do on the work track, correct?
Yes.
All right. And the challenge die is my engineering score plus 3?
2.
2? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
6. All right, here we go. And I cannot do a pierce. Okay. Crap. I forgot what any of this means. I have 2 1s, which I don't know what 2 1s mean.
Oh, I didn't tell you how much the stress check was. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So your stress
It's a
track.
resistance of 1, yeah? Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Go ahead.
resistance of 1. Yeah.
But the work track is how many?
I told you the magnitude, which is 4. The stress track is 10.
10. Okay. Well, I have completely forgotten how to interpret these die. I believe the 5 is an effect. Yes.
Yeah. So 5 and 6 are 1 with an effect.
1 with an effect.
Although I don't know if
threes don't count. 1s
3 and 4
2s,
don't count.
Yeah, 3 and 4s don't
So
count.
ones are ones, 2s are 2s, 3 and 4s don't count. 5 and 6s are effects.
Okay, cool.
What are
So-
effects in the context of a thing like this?
What's
I don't
that?
think. Let's see.
I have 5 successes. 5 successes. One of them is also an effect.
Okay, well, we can it doesn't say here whether or not the effects actually, I don't see it here what they do, but we can narratively say, we can add some flavor of the Becks are believing the work that you're doing. You're convincing more and more Becks that you're not just kind of coming in here and messing stuff up.
Yeah. So I think that because of the resistance, I only push 4 of that through. Is that correct?
Yes, 5 minus 1 resistance.
Okay. So, yeah,
Okay, so 10 minus 4, so now you have 6 left.
cool.
And to answer your question, Lisa, for the most part, effects on these rolls don't really. They just add an effect. You just counts as 1 on like hitting up the work track. So as soon as you hit 5, you get a breakthrough.
Okay, so you're 1 away from a breakthrough.
Okay, cool.
As soon as you hit 5 successes, or
so
5
if you roll
work track.
if you roll 5 successes, you automatically get a breakthrough.
Got
when
it.
you fill up the work track, you get a breakthrough.
I got very close, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can burn momentum to like subtract 2 resistance from the give it piercing. So you subtract 2 resistance from the if there is any.
Yeah.
Or you can do it. You can do additional work by spending momentum to gain like extra work done, basically.
Okay. So I'm gonna. I think the other way I can buy a die is if I spend a threat, which also counts towards untapped potential. Correct? I can give Elise a threat in order to buy a die.
Yes, you can always give the GM some threat to basically treat it like a momentum spend.
I mean, why not? Let's let the GM have.
That's
some
what
fun
I'm
too.
saying.
So
all you're
I
doing
will.
is making things.
I will
Eric, you're a
happily-
player this time.
I will give you a threat so that I can buy a die, so that I can use untapped potential on this roll if I succeed.
For a Klingon game, we don't spend a lot of threat normally.
We should.
Yeah.
I mean, we should do more of that. Anyways, here we go. Still got maintenance specialist and technical expertise going here.
And so difficulty is back down to 3 because of those. All right.
Let's see. And I rolled. Yep, I rolled 3 successes again.
All right.
And because I spent momentum, I can roll my d6 to generate bonus momentum. I rolled a 3. So, yes, I believe that means we get 3 extra momentum.
All right.
So we have 3 momentum. I'm going to spend one of them for piercing to get rid of the resistance. And then
All
I'm
right.
going to roll my challenge die. I think this is like only the second extended task I've ever done. So this is very exciting for me. Here we go. Okay. Woo! So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
Woo! And no resistance.
2 effects. Yeah. And no resistance. So yeah. Aha!
So you just blew through the rest of the work track
I did.
because you only had 6 left.
It was a really good roll. It was 3 2s and 2 6s.
Repair
Yeah.
successfully failed.
Did you explode the ship yet?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm working on it, Commander.
Oh, please, can it do the Scotty noise from Star Trek 3 when they try to do shit later? It's like a cartoon, like.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so you have had a successful extended task, blew through that that last half of the work track. And so, yes, so the result is that you repaired some systems, but then you tinkered enough with the warp core in a way that they didn't notice. And when they try to put it back online, it's not going to work. Yeah.
And at that point, I will look over to Kotar and say, the ship is yours.
All right. What do I do with it?
Commandeer it for the glory of the Klingon Empire and the Ekias Borku.
Oh, word?
Word.
Okay. We are now in command of this ship. Everyone must listen to us. We are your new senior officers. And Lieutenant Polk says, I don't think so. And Kotar says, well, that's what's happening here. According to my commanding officer, we are now in command of this ship. And Polk says, you're going to have to get through me to do that. And she pulls out her mek'leth.
That should not be a problem.
Oh no, whatever will Kotar do?
And we're going to cut back over to planet side.
Quick retro.
Yes.
As we're wrapping up our meeting and the commander's getting ready to head out, I'm going to use a talent that I've been wanting to use. It's called, no joke, this is from the Science Division source book that you can find the USS Sally Ride in. This is called positive reinforcement. So once per mission, I can make a presence plus medicine check at difficulty 3. But if I succeed, I get to create a personal advantage for the person that I'm talking to. And for the rest of the mission, without having to burn a determination, you get 1 free reroll. But I have to succeed on this difficulty 3 check.
Okay.
Oh, snap. Is that for me?
So, yeah, that's for you. Because I'm assuming you're about to get into a life or death situation here.
Absolutely.
So,
Jay, did you already use your value earlier?
I have
did.
not burned a value yet. Oh, I think she did, yes.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I'm going to use one of my values. I'm going to choose. My value is going to be choosing to live as its own type of courage. And as you're all leaving, he puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Glory in battle. All the things we were taught, what it is to be Klingon. These things are important, yes, but just remember, what it all truly comes down to
before even the Empire. Out here in the void, beyond the skies of Konos, what really matters is your crew. They are your responsibility. They depend on you. Use their strength. Today, fight for them and the Ikeas Borku.
And I'm going to make my roll. And I'm going to call upon that value. And this is a presence medicine.
Medicine.
Okay.
Do we have any extra momentum?
We have 3 right now.
We have 3 momentum.
I'll burn 1 momentum if you're cool with giving me an extra die.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Burning 1 is always statistically useful.
All right. So my presence is 10. My medicine is 4. So I need a 14 or better. I roll an 8, a 14, and a 16. So I get 2 successes off of that. Plus, I had 2 successes from the momentum, from the determination spend. So you actually gain 1 momentum, and you have now been positively reinforced. You get a free reroll for the rest of the mission.
Yeah. Reroll on everything, or just one?
Just
reroll?
one reroll. Right?
One thing. You get to pick what it is. It's one thing. I also get to create a personal advantage for you. So I'm going to create the personal advantage self-assured. And it's up to Eliza how she wants to initiate that, be it like lowering the difficulty on resisting being intimidated or whatever the heck. But for the rest of this mission, you are feeling confidence, and you can do a reroll.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I bid you farewell, Dakov.
Till we meet again, Commander.
Perhaps soon enough. Should this go well.
We shall see.
Yeah, and as I leave, I do a very complicated curtsy and bow, because in my heart, without saying it out loud, I think, he's so old.
He is 114. He nods to you and says, and goes back to his cup as he slams the door behind him, just abruptly.
All right. So, where are you all headed next?
I'm going to wherever Dagor is, and I'm going to challenge him to battle immediately.
Okay.
I accompany, and I won't say it yet. I don't want to give Dagor the forewarning, but once that challenge is issued, I want to make sure. Omek. Once the commander has initiated her duel, let us make sure that every Klingon around can witness the commander fall to ours. There will be no doubt who is the victor this day.
All right. Do we know where Dagor is, or are we just going to run around and I can just yell his name?
So when you were getting the tour through the town and at the beginning of the mine,
He
did
said he was
point
going
to
back
his
home,
hut.
right? Yeah.
Well, he was walking back towards the village, so that could be either his hut or the long hut that you saw, people congregating in.
Okay. I think he said he was going back towards his hut, so I'm going to try and go there first and bang on his door and say, Dagor! Come.
Okay, so before you, as you're walking up to the hut, before you get to the front door, I'm guessing the rest of the crew has followed behind you?
Yeah.
You remember exactly which hut it was that he pointed out, and as you're approaching it, you see about a dozen warriors standing outside it. The door is open. There are a few people inside. You could hear talking, loud talking as you approach. And the warriors turn and look at you. They do not look friendly. One of them says, Commander, visitors. And Dagor steps outside, already has his mek'leth in hand, and says, so I didn't have to hunt you down. You came right to my door.
Oh. You don't have to hunt me down. I'm always here and ready for a fight. And let me know if I can do this, Eliza. But if there's all these little rodents and creatures running around this planet, I want to take a knife and like hit one of them that's like around him, if that's possible.
If you have 2 momentum to spend, you can spend it to create that rodent, and then I would have you roll for your knives to see if you hit it.
It's like, I want to do it, but I don't want to waste momentum doing this.
Well, with you two facing off with your respective crews behind you, he continues and he says, something tells me that only one of us is going to be leaving Vorseth, and it will be feet first. But I want you to know this. Whatever happens between you and I and our blades, the future does not look promising for you. And he points up to the sky. And you follow where he's pointing to. You see 2 ships in orbit that weren't there before. 2 Klingon battle cruisers, unmarked. And back on the ship, actually, we'll wait for Chris to play that out. And we'll end our session here.
Ah, dang.
This was fun.
Wait, does that mean we don't get the thing that Eric gave us?
Everything's okay. It's
Oh,
all
you-
okay.
No, that's till the end of mission.
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
still have it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she gets to keep that until the mission is complete.
Fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eric Campbell.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
I really like this dude.
I wanted to make
Oh.
a joke being like, perhaps we shall see what the ship every so often as it comes up.
Yeah.
Perhaps at the rate that a bartender shows up on a Federation
Yeah.
flagship or that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Is he our Guinan?
Yeah. Becomes the bartender and the doctor,
He's our
And the
Klingon
ship-
Guinan.
ship surgeon, and the guy and the doctor.
Very
And the-
excited.
Come to
He's like-
counseling.
He's like Pike's original doctor, who's just like a guy who made him cocktails in the
Mhm.
pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it won't be insane if you're just like a monthly guest, right? Once a month is not crazy.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
you.
That's every episode, Jade.
Oh,
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's true.
Thank you so much, Eric, for coming to play with us. This has been
Thanks,
such
this was
a
fun.
treat.
Hey,
And,
thank you.
thank you to my cast. You all are amazing as always. Thank you, everyone who's watching. Thank you, mods, for doing your amazing work. Thank you, Jake, for you producing the heck out of this show. And we'll be back a month from now. I always forget to check the date, but the last Monday of September.
It'll be
Whatever
the
that Monday
28th.
is. The 28th. Thank you. Hey, yo. We'll be back September 28th.
Sorry, 27th.
27th, the last Monday
27th,
of
27th.
September, the 27th. And thank you. Take care and die well.
Die well.